guys, today I'm doing my monthly makeup ranking for January. I have 10 new makeup products that I tried this month, and I really only had one thing I would consider a fail. I have several things that I think are good but not amazing, or they're good quality but don't actually excite me, and then I have several things where I feel really excited about them. Coming in at number 10, we would have the Saie Glossy Bounce Lip Oil Gloss. I got the shade Dip, which is supposed to be a dusty rose. So this was a super sheer gloss. My lips are barely pigmented and it didn't show up that well. I mean, I know I got more of a neutral shade, but I was hoping for a bit more pigment. This did feel really nice and smooth and glossy on the lips. It did have a nice thickness to it without being sticky, but it had this really disgusting plastic scent and I just could not get past it. It's something I'm wearing on my mouth and I didn't feel like the scent really went away, and it just didn't feel like something worth keeping because I have a million lip glosses. So I did end up returning that. I heard from some people that they really didn't like the scent, and other people said they really loved the formula. So I went back and forth, decided to try it, and it just wasn't for me. If you don't have a problem with scents, then maybe it would be a nice option. So now we're getting into things that I still own and I just think are kind of like meh. So at number 9, I have the ColourPop and 4th Ray Beauty Lip Scrub from the Rudolph collection. And this is in my year-long project. It has a really great minty scent, and I'm still towards the top of the lip scrub, but I'm not on the very top layer. I feel like I'm in it enough to get a true feeling of the consistency, but I will let you know if that changes. But I just don't feel like this is scrubby enough. It does have more of those like sugar exfoliating crystals in there and a lot of lip mask. So it does do something, but it doesn't feel like it does enough. But at the same time, for this being something that I'm using like every other day, if it was too harsh, that wouldn't be great. I also don't find it to be drying, so that's good. I don't know, maybe I just don't have a fair assessment on what a lip scrub should be like. I like it enough to use it up, but if they brought back the Rudolph collection, I wouldn't pick it up, and I'm not gonna buy any other lip scrubs, but I like it well enough to get through it. Then at number 8, we have a palette that I just feel meh about. Natasha Denona Mini Starlet. So I only used these 3 shades, the more cool tinted ones. I created a look all together. I loved it. It was very beautiful. It'll be great for every day. I really love this Galaxia shade, and the quality is just as good as any other Natasha Denona palette. However, I picked this up because it was a new Natasha Denona Mini, not because I was super inspired by the color story or felt it would add something to my collection. I don't really think it does because I have so much. However, I do think that this could be very nice if you don't have a big collection. I don't necessarily feel like all these shades go together though. I feel like it's like, okay, this is my cool tone look, this is my warm tone look, but you would want to have other warm tone shades to go with this, or like one deeper matte to go with this, really depending on your skin tone. So I think that it is nice to have, but it is not essential. If I was going to recommend 3 mini palettes to you from Natasha Denona, this would not make the cut. And then at number 7, I have the new Flower Beauty palette. So I love the Desert Lights especially, and Jungle Lights, and then I was so excited for these 2 new ones. So let's start with the biggest disappointment. This palette drug down this one, but I wanted to rank them together. This is Coastal Lights. For some reason, Flower Beauty said, we're gonna give you 3 satins and then 3 of our amazing creamy metallic shadows. Why would y'all do that? Why wouldn't you just give us these light tones in your regular formula? These do not look special on the eye. I feel like you really have to build them up. They have a really subtle sheen. I didn't use this one, but I used these 2. It looks so boring. I don't know why y'all decided to do that. If it would have been in this formula, it would have been amazing because I loved this shade. I didn't get to wear those 2, but I'm still happy that I have this, but they really dropped the ball on that one, especially because people have been asking for so long for more shades in this formula. But the Garden Lights palette is stunning. I wore these 3 shades here. I swatched this one. This is a really nice mix of colors that really amazing, thick, metallic formula. It looks so shiny on the lid. I definitely recommend this one if you like these colors. But what a letdown, but still really amazing metallic shimmers. If you have other mattes that you like, that is definitely one of the best drugstore eyeshadow formulas that I've ever tried. Then at number 6, I feel bad for putting this here because the quality is amazing, but I just don't feel as excited about this as I am other products, and that is Huda Beauty Pretty Grunge. I think part of this reason is that I'm sort of mad at myself that I only got this for 20% off, and I did that because I had to spend like $100 more to stay Rouge at Sephora, and so I had placed this order, and then right at the end of the year I bought that Pat McGrath holiday palette from Sephora on super sale, so I probably would have been fine, you know, returning this, but I didn't, and I think that the quality is really good. I really do love this warm shimmer. I really like these cool tone mattes here. All of these shimmers are a little bit deep for my preference. I mean, that's why I initially was not going to get this palette. However, I do think that this would mix and match very nicely with her other palettes because she definitely likes to do a lot of more like mauve tones with her large palette. So the quality is just as good. If I had gotten this like 30 or 40% off, I think I would feel better about it, especially because this isn't my typical color story. But I do think that it performs really well, and I definitely would recommend it. I did not use the like cream liner shade. I of course did not use the black. I didn't use some of the, like this one, some of the other shimmers, but I did use a lot of the colors in this palette. Then we have my top 5. And at number 5, we have the e.l.f. Glow Reviver Lip Oils. I get 2 of the shades that actually have pigment to them, which would be Honey Talks and Rose Envy. I did not use Rose Envy yet, but I have used Honey Talks. I've got some lip stain swatches over here, so I'm going to swatch these on my other hand. And I have not tried the Dior lip oil, so I know that's what this is supposed to be similar to. You get that real big fat applicator, which is like not my favorite, but it's fine. And while this is one of the more pigmented ones, you can still see that it is very sheer, and these do look really beautiful if you have a lip liner underneath. I feel like these do give like a smooth appearance to the lips, and they are super glossy, but this does not feel like a lip oil. It feels just like a thicker lip gloss that isn't super sticky. And it's a little bit hydrating, but I feel like people use the word lip oil like very, again, very loosely, but tons of shine. And we've got Honey Talks, Rose Envy. So very lightly pigmented. I don't feel like I need to buy any more of these, but I would say it's worth picking up a shade or 2. They're so affordable, and this is a really nice gloss formula. Again, I don't know that it was something that I absolutely had to have because I have so many lip glosses, but I do think that these are just like super cute and fun to have. At number 4 is the Sephora Rouge Gel Lip Liner in the shade Hot Sauce. This was blowing up on TikTok, so I got this with that Pretty Grunge palette from Sephora right there at the end of the year, and this was 30% off because it is Sephora collection, and it's so hard to swatch on this hand. I bought this to do like the cherry cola lip look, and I have worn this and I thought it was so nice. This is a really great formula. I have tried this before. I got like a little mini shade in a Sephora Play back in the day, and then I lost it, which I literally have lost 2 makeup products in my life. The other one was like a little mini mascara that I have no idea where it went to, where it rolled off to, and it kills me when I lose things. So bringing up a tough memory, but I really love this formula. I think this is a beautiful color. They obviously come in tons of shades, and this is a very creamy lip liner formula. So easy to line your lips, to fill them in. It doesn't feel dry and tight. I know some people like more dry lip liners. I don't. I prefer something creamy, but I still feel like it stays in place. But it isn't matte. I'm seeing here that there is like a little bit of like a shine to it. There's no shimmer in here or anything, but it just is a creamy lip liner. Definitely would recommend that. Then at number 3 is something that surprised me. This has been waiting to be open for quite some time. I use my mascaras oldest to newest for the most part. And I had this sample of the Freck Lash Rocket Mascara. Now I haven't tried much from Freck, but this is so nice. I am using my Rare Beauty mascara first, which gives more volume, and this is great for length and separation, but it just made my lashes look so full. It looked like I had so many lashes, they were so long. This felt like using a lash comb. It was so great. However, this is more of a dry formula, so I would be worried about getting this in a full size and if I felt like it dried out too quickly, but it's great in the mini. It works really well. So if this was on sale 40-50% off at Sephora, I would definitely buy it, and I would be happy to get more minis of it because I think it just pairs so well with more of a volumizing mascara. Definitely worth looking into. And then we've got my top 2 products that I love so much. Of course, they're palettes. Number 2 is the ColourPop Rudolph the Red Nose Reindeer palette. I was so glad that they brought this back because this was on my list of products that I missed out on. I would love for ColourPop to do more of these 15 pan palettes because I think that the size is so perfect. I love having this many shades, and I was so impressed with this palette. I mean, you guys can probably guess my favorite shades would be these 2 here. You guys know I love those type of colors. This one, and then this lid shade is amazing. All of these other shimmers in here do give some nice shine on the lids, but this one is more of like a creamy metallic. It definitely packs more of a punch than all of the other shimmers. And I did not get to use these green shades here or this red, but I used everything else. I was so impressed. I definitely am going to be reaching for this more. Such a cute design, and they really did pick fantastic shades to go with this collection and to be cohesive. So definitely happy with the formula and colors in here. And then at number 1, we have what I'm wearing on my eyes today. This is the Odin's Eye Christmas Eve palette. This also was on my list of palettes that I missed out on, and when it came back, I had to snag it, as well as the 2 newest holiday palettes, which I'm going to be testing out next. And I'm not as drawn to those color stories as I am the original 2 holiday palettes, but I was like, I'm not going to miss out again. I am buying them, and I'm so glad that I did. I am wearing 5 of the shades today, all of the more warm tone ones in this look, but this is mostly a cool tone and blue palette. I'm a little bit thrown off by those warm shades being in there, but I think that's Odin's Eyes thing. They do have like a bit of a color story and then some other sort of random things to add some variety, which I don't think is necessarily bad. That keeps it from being too monochromatic. And for people that are more creative than me, I'm sure that's very exciting. But I think all the shades in here perform really well. The metallic shades do look nice and reflective and metallic on the lid. You will get a little bit of fallout with some of those. This is a multi-chrome shade, the color Gorgeous. So right here in my viewfinder, it is looking purple, but in person it is looking blue. I loved this, and I definitely would love to pair this with maybe more of some like warm or neutral brown mattes to see if other colors come through. So it's just so beautiful. I love that that is in there. I was really impressed by the formula of this shade. A lot of times these look very muddy on me or patchy. It performs so well. The only color in here that I was really disappointed with would be Le Mauve or Limo Tart. I don't know. I can't read the font on there. I don't like the color of this. I think it's a very ugly yellow, but more importantly, there is shimmer in here. So when you put your brush in here, it is like poof. And I really had to build it up on my eye today, and as you can tell, I'm a very fair skin tone, and I don't know if maybe I wasn't seeing the color accurately because of the shimmer, but it felt like it was not applying evenly. Made a mess. So I used it for this look, but I don't know that I'm going to use that shade anymore. And then this ice crystal color is very light. I do feel like this one was able to build up a little bit better, but I wish that there was just like a little bit more pigment to this. Like I wish it was still the same like tone, but maybe like a little bit darker. But everything else in here I think is absolutely perfect. This is such a beautiful palette. I don't have a ton of blues in my collection. I have a few more blue palettes. This one, Electro Turquoise from Kaleidos, and oh, I'm blanking on the name, one of the Fantasy Cosmetica palettes. And I feel like, okay, Heather, you're set on blue now, and there is that more blue row from the Kaleidos and Angelica Nyqvist palette. So like I'm set on blues, but I'm so glad I got this. It's so beautiful, and I loved the different looks that I created, and these different deep mattes actually performed very, very well. So highly recommend this palette if it is still available. I hope you guys were able to pick it up when it came back. But those are my thoughts on the 10 new products that I tried in the past month. I would love to hear your thoughts on these in the comments down below, and I would also love to hear reviews on the new things that you've tried recently. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.